Hi everyone, in the previous lab we learned how we can make a map from base maps, which were built-in maps in ArcGIS. Today we're going to make a map based on the GIS dataset, in this case shapefile, and we will practice data management in ArcGIS desktop environments. So first of all, go to your Blackboard and find and download Lab 2 data from Vik2 folder and save it on your H drive in Lab 2 folder. So I already have done that. It's in the H drive and then GIS Labs Lab 2, and I saved both of the zip file, Counties of Ohio and Hospitals Ohio zip file. So you should know that we cannot work with the zip file in ArcGIS environment. So you have to unzip or extract the zip file in Lab 2 folder. Okay, right click on the name of Counties Ohio, extract all, and then here I do not change the name of it because it doesn't have any space and it's again in the same folder. So click extract, and also do this for the hospitals, extract and extract. The first zip file is for Ohio counties, which is a polygon feature class. This shapefile obtained from Tiger Line. And the second zip file is Ohio hospitals, this one, which is a point feature class, and this shapefile obtained from Homeland infrastructure foundation level data. Both of the data can be downloaded freely and are available online. So once you extract these two zip files in the Windows Explorer, you can see that, for example, for Counties Ohio, it consists of several files with the same name, counties_oh, and different extensions. So all of them have the same name but different extensions: CPG, DBF, PRJ, SPN, SPH, SPX, SHP, and SHX. So SHP stores geometry information such as points, line, polygon, this one. SHX is an index for faster search and a connection between attribute and spatial information. DBF stores attribute table. These three extensions, SHP, SHX, and DBF, are mandatory for any shapefile, which means that without any of these extensions, shapefile can't be loaded. Another important extension is PRJ, which stores projection or coordinate system. So we will talk about it later. So the question is, how can I load this shapefile into ArcMap environments? So this is the environment of ArcMap, and if I want to add any GIS data set into ArcMap, we should use Add Data button, which is this black plus sign with a yellow background. So ArcGIS is not like Windows Explorer. So for example, in Windows Explorer, if you are going to play music in your computer, you just have to find that music and click on it. But in ArcGIS, in order to use the GIS dataset, you have to connect to folder that contains that GIS dataset. Then you'll be able to access to that GIS dataset. So let's practice this concept. So we're going to have access to the GIS dataset that we just downloaded. So once you click Add Data, this window pops up, and you should be able to find the icon with the name of Connect to Folder. And then click on it and then navigate to Lab 2 folder, or the folder that you saved your GIS datasets. So click on this PC, it was in H drive, and GIS_labs. Click OK. So you can see that under catalog tree, or here under folder connection, a new folder has been added. Okay, or here in the catalog tree, under folder connection, GIS labs, this path has been added. So this is permanent, which means that if I close ArcMap, it will still be there. So Esri has designed this structure for a couple of reasons. First, connecting to folders saves your time. It's like you create a shortcut on your desktop, finding GIS dataset amongst a lot of non-GIS dataset. Once you connect to folder, for the next time you just have to click on the name of the folder and have access to the folder permanently. So the second reason is related to efficiency. So you can easily disconnect from other non-GIS folder. For instance, let's connect to another folder such as libraries, documents, this one. So I connected to this folder and I can see that it's under folder connection. Now I can easily disconnect from this folder because it doesn't have any GIS data, or maybe there is GIS data but I don't need that. So I can easily right click on it and then disconnect from this folder. So once you connect to lab 2 folder, GIS labs, and then lab 2 folder, go inside of lab 2 folder and then select counties_OH. So here you can see that you can see a single shapefile of Ohio counties, or borders of the counties in Ohio. So if you compare it with the Ohio counties in Windows Explorer, so here you can see that it at least consists of 7 files, but here we have only a single file. And this is the shapefile that we're looking for. So this is a shapefiles. All of the shapefiles are in green color, and this one is a polygon shapefile because there are 3 polygons in this square. Select the shapefile, select this counties_OH shapefile, and then click Add. So this is the map of the boundaries of the Ohio counties. Okay, so in the table of content I can see the name of the layer and also the geometry of the layer, which is a polygon feature class. But here in the preview, in the data view, I can see a preview or representation of the shapefile or feature class. So let's add the other shapefile. We don't need to connect again to the folder because we already have been connected. So it was under lab 2 hospitals OH Ohio, and then you can see that this one is point feature class or point shapefile. Select the hospitals OH and then click Add. So here it says the following data source have different coordinate system, but it's not really important for this lab. So click Close, and here you can see that the name of the layer and also the type or geometry of the layer has been added into the table of content, which is a point feature class or point shapefile, and the preview of the layer is in the data view environment. You can see that in counties with higher population such as Hamilton, Franklin, Cuyahoga counties, we have higher number of hospitals, which makes sense because in this area we have higher population, and higher population needs higher number of hospitals. So if we right click on the word layers in table of content, you can turn all layers off. Okay, this is particularly important when you have so many layers and you want to turn all layer off, or sometimes you need to turn all layer on. You can also remove a shapefile or feature class from table of content. Select it and then right click and remove. So the shapefile won't be deleted. Okay, just remove from table of content. You can recover the shapefile again. And also order of the layers of feature class in the table of content is very important. For example, if I place the counties on top of hospitals, you cannot see the hospitals. So select this and I place that on top of the hospitals. So always make sure that the points layer is on top of the polygon layer in table of content. If I want to change the basic symbols of this feature class, so for this feature class I want to make a basic symbol change, I have to click on the geometry or polygon, which means polygon, point or line, and in this window I can change very basic symbols of this layer. For instance, for Ohio counties I want to use white borders with gray fill color. So I use fill color, I change fill color to gray, and then outline color to white, and then click OK. Or maybe if I want to increase the width of the borders, I can again click on this one and then increase the outline width to 1. Click OK. So let's make some basic symbol change to the hospital feature class too. So double click on the point, and here you can find a point feature class, point symbol, or you can here search in the database hospital. So it brings some symbols relevant to hospitals, and then you can select anything that you like better. So for instance, I select this one and then I click on OK. So the symbol kinda is very large, so I double click on this one and then change the size of the symbol to something like 8 and then click OK. So here you can see the distribution of the hospitals in Ohio, across Ohio. So we want to select Cleveland Clinic Children's Hospital for rehab and make it different from other hospitals. So we should look in Cuyahoga County. It should be somewhere close to here in Cuyahoga County. It's here. And we have to look for the Cleveland Clinic Children's Hospital for rehab. So let's first turn off this counties Ohio and then use this identify button. So using identify icon or button, you can see name or attributes of the hospital. So you can click on the hospital and check the name of them. Okay. Yes, this one is Cleveland Clinic Children's Hospitals for Rehab. So in order to select a feature on the map, you can use select features button, this one. Okay, so you can select this feature on the map. Or if you mistakenly select other features, for example, these 5 features, you can easily click on clear selected features. And then just want to make sure, yes. So I select this feature class, which is Cleveland Clinic Children's Hospital for Rehab. So I'm going to make a new shapefile or feature class only from these selected features and make it different from other hospitals. So you need to export this shapefile as a new shapefile. First you have to select the hospital on the map, which we already have done that. Then right click on the layer that contains that feature. So which one contains, which layer have this feature, which is hospital underscore OH, right? And then right click on that, and then data, export data. Here you have to make sure that you are exporting only the selected features, which is the Cleveland Clinic Hospital, as a new shapefile. And it asks where do you want to save your output feature class. So you have to navigate to lab 2 folder, which is here, and here I can save it as a with the name of CLE underscore child underscore HPT hospital. And here make sure that save as type is shapefile, and then click on save. Okay, so it asks me, do you want to add the exported data to the map as a layer? Yes, we want to see the results. So here is the result. You can click on clear selection. That's the result of our new map, our new shapefile. So to make it different from other hospitals, again I double click on this one and then select this one with the size of such as 30, click OK, and then let's zoom to layer or click on full extent, and then turn on the counties Ohio. So this is the map of distribution of hospitals, and this one is Cleveland Clinic Hospital for Children for Rehab. So when you're happy with your map, it's time to make a map with all necessary elements. First of all, save your project as MXD file. From File, Save As. Again, go to the Lab 2 folder and save it as hospitals. So it's a MXD file, is different from, it's a project file, and then click save. And then it's time to make a map. So you need to switch to the layout view and add all of the necessary elements, such as north arrow, scale bar, title. So insert north arrow, insert scale bar, insert title, such as geographic distribution, of hospitals in Ohio. In the previous lab we didn't use legend, but because we were using built-in maps in ArcGIS, now we can also insert legend from insert menu, legend, and based on all of these 3 items are gonna make a legend. So click preview and finish. So you can see that a legend has been added. So this one is Cleveland Childhood Hospital. Here I can, if I change the name of the layer here on the legend, also the name will be changed. So I type CLE Child Hospital, maybe. So you can see that automatically changes the name. So hospitals, Ohio, counties, Ohio. So we also need to remove the word legend because we all know that this is legend. So double click on it and then uncheck this box, apply, OK. Also insert a text with your name, date, source. So insert text. It's very small, so insert your name, date, sources, which were tiger line for the boundaries, tiger line, and also Homeland infrastructure foundation level data. So I type HIFLD, and you can increase the size of it to 12. Okay, apply. Okay, so it's for the text. So you can resize this one and add a neat line, insert neat line around the map. And finally export the created map as a JPEG with file, export map as a JPEG with 600 dpi, again in the lab2 folder. Click save. So how you can send me the shapefile you created? So from our catalog, from here you can make a new folder with the name of homework 2, and then you can copy the shapefile you just created in this folder. So don't go to the Windows Explorer, because you have to select all of the files and then paste it. Okay, so for example, if you want to rename this file, okay, rename this shapefile, you can easily rename it to, for example, CLE. Okay, what happens in the here, you can see that all of them will be renamed. So instead of renaming the files one by one from the Windows Explorer, I can do that from our catalog. So our catalog is good for data management. So if you want to copy files, or if you want to move it or delete a shapefile, just always use our catalog. It's more convenient and more powerful for data management. Now you can close your ArcMap. So again, save. So you can also put your write-up, for example, here. This is your write-up, and then select all of the files and then send to compressed folder, and then homework 2 underscore your name. Okay, this is the zip file that I want you to upload in your Blackboard as your assignments.